Hey guys, how's it going? Today I would like to walk you through a little silk sequence which starts with a hip key on one silk, and it will involve some spinning and some pretty shapes, and I'm just gonna show it right on the side here. And as you're watching this, just a little reminder that aerial silks is a dangerous activity, so don't train without a professional, and also remember to use a safety mat. As always, when we have routines that include some spinning, do the routine without the spinning first until you get nice and comfortable with it, and then add the spin onto it later, just because the spinning usually makes it a little bit harder to concentrate on what foot goes where, what side is what side, and all of those things. So as you could see in the video, I was climbing up the silks fairly high. So yeah, in the beginning, just make sure that you're starting down low first, and yeah, as you get comfortable with all of this, feel free to take it higher up. Alrighty, so let's pull this one apart. So firstly, as I've already said, we are climbing up the silks. You can climb up any way you like. And then when you're at the desired height, which should be pretty low in the beginning, we want to hold one silk in each hand. And then we want to do the hip key, but only on one silks. And the other silks will kind of stay behind us as we're getting into the hip key here. So it's basically falling down my back. And we really want to be leaning into that hip key here to have a nice and secure position. Alrighty, another little thing to pay attention to here is the hands. So as you can see here, I have actually switched my hands in order to be able to lean further down into that hip key. So now I'm only holding onto the silk pole of the silks that I did the hip key on, and the other silks is completely free and it's just running down my back there. So for some extra safety, I want to keep that top hand on this whole time. And now we can optionally include a little bit of spin. So just use your bottom hand to grab the silk tails, both of them, and then circle them around to be able to create some spin. But only do that after you're already familiar with this whole routine. Here it also helps when you tuck your legs into your body. So like bending your legs at your knees and then bringing them close to you to make yourself into a little ball. This will just help you to create the spin a little bit quicker. And once we have enough spin, we want to extend our legs, and then we want to wrap the bottom leg with the silk tails, with both of them from the inside. So we are placing both silk tails over the bottom leg as high up on our thigh as we can. And for this, it also helps to bring the leg a little bit further down as well, so that it's more vertical than horizontal. That just makes it easier to actually place the silk over it. Then we want to switch our hands back into the position from the beginning in order to be able to bring our upper body back up, so that now our body is vertical again. We also want to make sure that we are keeping the leg that we just wrapped before high up, just to be able to keep the silks there and to not lose it. And then we are bringing the other leg to the back so that it comes behind the silks. And then in the next step, we will invert. And as we are inverting, the silks will be on top of both of the thighs, and the invert will make it fall into our hip crease there. So as I already said, we are inverting then, and we want to crochet the leg that we have wrapped first with the silks into the same side silk pole. So then we can take the other leg to the back and try to bring it as close as we can to the back of our head, or to our back in general, or down to the floor, just to create this little nice back shape here. And if you like, you can also bring the leg into your body and bend it at the knee, which will help you to create a little bit more spin, so you get a little bit quicker as you're bringing that leg in, and then as you're bringing it back out, you will slow down slightly again. Then we want to pull our upper body up again, and we do so by grabbing the free silks with both our hands as high up as we can, and the same arm as the leg that is wrapped into the silk pole at the moment will be the top arm here. And like this, we are pulling our upper body on top of the silk wrapping here. So we are kind of leaning on the silks so that we don't have to hold our whole body weight with our hands here. And then we have this nice little shape here, and we can just hold the pose before we continue turning into the same direction again, and until our chest is pointing up and we're kind of hanging under the silks. For this, we are really holding onto the silks tightly with our hands, and at the same time as we are turning our upper body here, we are also bringing that free leg over as well. So we are basically letting that free leg follow the upper body. That way we are changing the silk wrapping so that it's basically under our lower back here now, offering us something like a little hammock to lie on. Next we want to unravel that leg that is still in the silk pole, and we just want to bring it down towards the ground, and we can cross the other leg on top of that leg. This will not only give us another nice little shape, but it will also help us to balance in this position a little bit better. So here we can bring our upper body down then, and you can keep holding onto the silks. The best thing is to just hold it very low on the silk poles, so very close to our body, each hand holding onto one silk pole. And then as you're finding your balance and as you're feeling comfortable on this, you can try releasing the one hand, then releasing the other hand nice and slowly, and just see how you go. Only do this if you feel very comfortable in this position though. Then we want to hold on to the silk poles with both hands again, just as we did before, and we want to extend those legs and pike them in towards our body before we hook them onto the silk pole. So both the knees are gonna hook onto the same silk pole, and the silk pole will be the same one as the leg that was on the bottom just before. So not the leg that we crossed over, but the other one. So we want to hook both legs onto the side of that bottom leg. So here, a little thing to pay attention to: while having our hands higher up here will actually make it easier to hold this position for us, it will make it harder to actually be able to hook those two knees onto the silk pole, because we have to lift them higher up to be able to hook them. Otherwise our hand will be in the way. So a good idea here is to have the silk pole that will stay free from the legs, to just have the hand that is on that one a little bit higher up, and then we can slide the other one a little bit more down to create some space to be able to hook our knees onto the silk pole without having to bring them up too high. But also it makes holding our weight a little bit easier because the other hand is slightly higher up. So once we hooked both those knees onto the silk pole, we want to bring our hands higher up here in order to be able to pull ourselves up and straighten our legs. But yeah, for that we'll have to bring the hands higher up. So that means that the one hand on the side with the hooked knees will have to go over the hooked knees. So we'll have to bring it above the knees to be able to come up higher here. So then we just pull up, and we can keep our arms bent here to extend our leg, and as we do so the fabric will fall off. But here, make sure you keep holding this position. Don't just slide down into it already, or like extend your arms or anything like that, because as you can see there's still a little loop on one of the legs here, and we want to get rid of that loop first before we bring our body down, even if it's just a bit. Because if we're going to bring our body down already, this will just tighten the loop around the leg, and that will just make it harder to actually get it off neatly. So we want to keep holding this position where we have the bent arms. Just keep holding it the whole time, don't slide down at all. And then we want to use the free leg to push the loop down the leg, and at the same time we're pulling the leg that is inside the loop out of the loop. And then once we got it out, we can basically just extend our legs and then hop back onto the silks and continue from here to whatever else you would like to do. So this was the whole sequence that I wanted to show you today. If you have any questions, feel free to just ask down below, and I'll hope to see you next time. Bye.